This is WYMT Mountain Sports, your home for the Kentucky Wildcats and local high school sports.
Exhibition college basketball games. I know they don't matter to you. They don't count as far as a team's record goes, and fans don't necessarily buy into everything they see in a glorified scrimmage. But don't tell the basketball cats that. These guys sick of playing against one another every single day. They finally got to play a game tonight versus someone other than themselves. The Ottawa Braves in Rupp Arena tonight. Let's do it. First half, Kentucky out in transition. Jamal Murray. Little finger roll. Next possession down, Scow. That's good. Later, Cats up by 14 now, Murray. Buckets. Murray in transition now. The assist to Derek Willis, up and in. More from Scal Labissiere later. That hook looking fresh for the freshman. How about a little Tyler Eulis? Of course, he had 15 dimes the other night in the blue-white scrimmage. This one he's pickpocketed. The steal and the layup. And then Eulis later to Marcus Lee. Hey, it's an exhibition game, and it's against Ottawa, but the basketball Cats looking prime. They win 117-58. Jamal Murray an assist shy of a triple-double, 22 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists.
I didn't know, but I knew he was rebounding the ball. But let me explain to you, he hadn't done that in any practice. Like, it's a mistake that he did it, because if he doesn't rebound now, I'm going to be all over him.
I think everybody's going to have their day. Whether it's points, assists, rebounds, doesn't matter. Steals, everyone's gonna have the day where they just locked in that stat. So.
All right, Kentucky takes on Kentucky State this Friday in its last exhibition game. You can watch it live on ESPNU. 6 o'clock tip time. The Wildcats now 13-0 in exhibition games under head coach John Calipari. Now to the football Cats. Mark Stoops and the football Cats go to Athens Saturday. Georgia awaits Kentucky after the Wildcats fall for the 30th time in 31 tries to Tennessee Saturday. The Vols hand UK its worst loss of the season. Now 3 straight L's for the Cats. Could this be another meltdown like last year when the Cats started 5-1? Now Stoops doesn't think so.
We're anxious to get back to work. I don't see one bit of anything within our program, within our players. After watching that film, there's not one bit of me thinks that guys' hearts were not in it. Not at all. Our speeds were good. They were flying around. They were doing, playing football. We've got to do a better job in critical situations, and a lot of that comes down to third down on both sides of the ball.
All right, head coach Mark Stoops also saying today Stanley Boom Williams is week to week. Boom went down hard with an elbow injury during the game against Tennessee Saturday. He left the game in the first half and did not return again. Week to week for Boom, but definitely a no-go for him this week at Georgia. So Kentucky at Georgia Saturday, noon kick time for this game right here. The game on the SEC Network. The Wildcats are 4-4. The Bulldogs are 5-3. Kentucky will go for just its 5th win ever in Athens. Still to come, Bell County boys are on deck for round ball previews, plus this week's episode of Chalk Talk. Hear from former UK quarterback Freddie Maggard as he hashes out what's next for the football Cats. Welcome back. In tonight's episode of Chalk Talk, Lauren Cash sits down with Freddie Maggard to hear his thoughts on what needs to change after Kentucky's loss to Tennessee.
Well, welcome into yet another edition of Chalk Talk. Lauren Cash here alongside Freddie Maggard. Freddie, a 31-point home loss to Tennessee here this past Saturday for Kentucky. You raised a lot of good points in your column that you write for Kentucky Sports Radio. You raised this question, where does Kentucky go from here? In your response?
That's a great question. I think we heard some responses from Mark Stoops today that even with the special teams on the punt return, a couple players he said we're going to get scrutinized about what they did not do, what they were coached to do. You got to realize 49 points or 7 Tennessee touchdowns came on the result of almost nearly 400 yards, 379 yards if you count the 64-yard run that resulted in a 1-yard touchdown. So Kentucky defensively actually played okay on first down and second down. Third downs did not. Offensively never found a rhythm. That comes from the athleticism of the Tennessee defensive front. UT was playing their safety 25 yards deep. They were not going to give up the long pass and just challenge Kentucky to throw intermediately or try to run. Tennessee won the ball game, had better players, coached better, and is a better football team. That's just the plain fact to it. However, you have to move forward, and you move on to Georgia, who's now reeling from getting beat, dominated by their rivals Florida, and 5-3. And many are saying at 5-3, Mark Richt and the Bulldogs lose to Kentucky and Athens. That could be it for his career at Georgia. So, a critical game for the Bulldogs and a must-win for Kentucky to get back on track.
Yeah, looking back on the column that you wrote again, you mentioned at one point, even though it's 8 weeks into this season, Coach Stoops should open up some competition at a lot of the positions. What positions in particular do you think?
I don't feel right now, I know it's strange being 8 weeks in, I'd open every one of them up. Because what the fans, what the Big Blue Nation wants to see is a competitive team that fights. And if a position or a player is portraying or playing complacent, then he needs to be replaced. And I like the fact that I did see depth chart moves today. A youth movement in the secondary is long overdue. Now I feel this coaching staff has to look at their schemes, how they're coaching and motivating, because what's been going on for the last 2 football games, the status quo is not working.
Kentucky looks to snap a 5-game losing streak to Georgia and improve to 5-4 on this season. Kick time set for noon. You can watch it on the SEC Network. Freddie, once again, thank you. I'm Lauren Cash for WYMT Mountain Sports.
All right, strong words there from Freddie Maggard. Thank you, guys. Lewis Morris enters his 9th season as the Bell County boys head basketball coach. He'll try to get the Bobcats back to the 13th region tournament for a 3rd straight season. 4 out of the 5 starters return for Bell County, including Zach Parton, who was the team's leading scorer and rebounder most games last year. Bell County opens with Clay County December 1st.
He's preaching tempo right now, just getting up down the floor as fast as possible. Just outworking the other team, wearing them down, and running our stuff right. As long as we run our stuff right, we don't really worry about as much as what the other team does. As long as we do our stuff right, we should be fine. So what Coach has been preaching about that, we're going to probably be the best shape of our lives this season coming in, because we're going to be pushing the ball more than we did last year and the year before with Jake and all them coming.
Quite a bit of experience coming back. You know, sometimes that's good. Sometimes you got to wait and see. Hopefully it'll be a good thing for us. I mean, we've got some kids that's played and they know what's going on, and they've just got to step up and be a little better than they have been.
Last year, we had a lot of ups and downs throughout our season, so a lot of leadership had to come out, and I think Zach, was one of our biggest leaders last year. He's probably led us in scoring most of the time, rebounds and everything. So I believe he stepped up last year, to help us throughout our season. I believe he was a big key to for us to make it to, the region.
All right, the final Alice Lloyd College Mountain Top 10 is out. These rankings do not change regardless of what happens in the playoffs, and that means these guys over here, the #1 Pulaski County Maroons, start #1 and they finish #1. Check it out. All year long, Pulaski County is the unanimous #1 team in the mountains. The defending Class 5A state champs host Letcher Central in the first round of the playoffs this Friday. Belfry moves ahead of Johnson Central at #2. And then Paintsville, the only coverage area team to finish undefeated. The Tigers finish ranked 4th in the Alice Lloyd College Mountain Top 10. Northborough rounds out the top 5. So the playoffs start this Friday. That means Sports Overtime should be an absolute blast. We'll be back after this.